Last time on D&D, featuring Calliope, the Halfling Bard, Ellie Jobel, the Forest Gnome Ranger Rogue, Phelan, the High Elf Cleric, Talaran, the Wood Elf Ranger, Twerpo, the Hill Dwarf Wizard, Trogdor, the Red Dragonborn Barbarian, and introducing Alaric, the Human Fighter. The party meets one of the guards of the caravan, Alaric Lysane, a human fighter who expresses his thanks for what they did to help take down the Den Mother Gnoll. Alaric spends the next few nights hanging out the party's campfire and just getting to know them better. Essentially, since the new player who joined the game was a human fighter, I just introduced him as one of the caravan guards as a way of explaining that he was always there and that's why he was traveling with them. Later, as the caravan approaches the cavern ahead, the riders become nervous and tense. One of them stands up and says,
"This caravan is full of piercers. We need to ride through as quickly as we can. Perhaps one of you would be better at handling these horses."
For those not familiar with piercers, these are monsters that look like stalactites that hang on cavern ceilings and drop down on unsuspecting travelers, piercing the target's flesh and feeding on them. So, Alaric, Ellie Jobel, and Calliope decide to take the reins. And as they barrel through the cave, both Phelan and Twerpo still manage to get struck despite these creatures having disadvantage to hit them since they're moving so quickly. However, the wagons do barrel through the other side of the cavern, and as they come to a halt at the exit, a visage of a ghostly woman appears and says, "Help us," before disappearing again. Ellie Jobel and Talaran decide they're going to dismount and scout ahead. They come across a small town known as Stonehowl, which is where the caravan is going to make its next stop. Stonehowl is a small mining village, but it is one of the primary sources of steel and ore in the region. There seems to be some kind of commotion going on with the villagers gathering around the town square, and what appears to be the mayor trying to calm down a very angry crowd. Ellie and Talaran make their way back and report what they've seen, and the caravan proceeds forward, arriving at Stonehowl. The mayor of the small mining village asks the party for help.
A number of things have happened.
He explains.
The primary problem was that the miners had broken through a wall and encountered large insect-like creatures that murdered at least 50 of the miners. And as if that were not enough,
He explains.
the chief medical examiner of the village has lost their mind. Some adventurers who had just come back from the Broken Lands traded a staff that they had acquired for medical assistance for one of their party members and gave the staff to the chief medical examiner. After getting the staff, the chief medical examiner became very erratic and reclusive, squirreling away in the mines. The extent of his madness became clear when the chief medical examiner was seen using the staff to raise the dead and turning the undead to work the mines. In his madness, he explained that the undead don't need to eat, they never get tired, and they're the perfect miners. So even if these insects kill the undead, no need to worry. They're already dead.
But the mayor did not approve of this because necromancy of this nature is forbidden. The mayor then asked the party to save the medic if they could, but if they had to, he would understand if there was no other way than to put him down permanently. The party agreed to the mayor's deal after bartering for some horses and alcohol. As they headed for the cavern roughly a mile away, before entering the cavern, a big wind swept over them and then a shadow. Then, landing on top of the cavern entrance was none other than a black dragon by the name of Onyx. The black dragon tells the party that it wants the staff that the medic has. The black dragon then tells the party that if they bring him the staff, he senses that one of them has a cursed item on them, which is Phelan and the gauntlet, and he says that he will gladly assist in removing it, and that he knows how to get that gauntlet removed. When questioned, the black dragon Onyx explains that though the world sees him as an evil creature, even he is against necromancy, and that as a dragon, he has the means to remove the staff and make sure it is safely destroyed. The party accepts his offer, worried that it might lead to a fight otherwise, a fight that they are not prepared to win. The black dragon Onyx instead says that it will give the party a chance to come out of the cave with the staff and make their decision then, in case they have any questions. The party accepts the dragon's deal and enters the cave. Stepping inside the cave, the party's senses are overcome by the scent of death, and venturing inside only slightly more reveals why. Just inside there are several ghouls feasting on a fresh kill, and they spot the party, and combat begins. With some cuts and a few momentarily being paralyzed by the touch of the ghouls, the party moves on. Ellie scouts ahead and eventually finds an underground lake. In the lake is a slow-moving yellowish creature, which she evades and swims around. She returns and forms a line using their rope that allows the party to climb across safely, although several fall into the lake, and Trogdor's size actually snaps the rope. He actually rolled a critical fail, and it's just written up that he snap the rope in doing so. The party finds themselves fighting an ochre jelly, which, to their dismay, they learn that it splits in half if they hit it with a specific type of damage. They finally defeat the two jellies that have formed and move forward into a dry area where there is a 9-foot human-looking individual in the center of the room. As they gaze, he doesn't seem to do anything, and upon closer examination, it appears his flesh has been sewn together. He suddenly activates as the party enters the room. Ellie uses a distraction to sneak past him into the next hall, where she sees a disembodied figure whose body seems to be made up of green energy and a skull with 2 red eyes. Holding the staff and opening some kind of portal to a fire realm, she knows that something bad is about to happen. Ellie yells for the party, leaving Trogdor and Alaric to fight the flesh golem. The others attack what appears to be a fractured remains of the medic. The medic is finally defeated, and the flesh golem ceases to move. Ellie picks up the staff, not really thinking it through, and despite her best efforts, is overcome by its evil. The flesh golem once again reanimates itself, but this time with no control, simply goes berserk and begins smashing the walls and anything near it. The party renders Ellie unconscious and wraps the staff in a blanket, ties a rope to it, and drags it out of the cave. Once outside, the black dragon Onyx is there, and the party realizes that they have no way to really get past him, and they decide to agree and give him the staff. The dragon offers to remove the cursed gauntlet from Phelan, but Phelan doesn't trust exactly how Onyx is going to remove the staff, fearing that he is simply just going to bite her hand off. So she declines this offer, and the dragon takes off with the staff and doesn't destroy it, as he promised. The party returns to Stonehowl and shares the news of their victory against the medic and explain to the mayor that, unfortunately, the medic was too far gone. He wasn't even human anymore. As everyone is celebrating, the party begins to wonder, what does that black dragon want with that staff? And they realize their problems may have only just begun.